Hey, welcome back to Cool Classics. Today we're going to look at the life and career of another one of my favorite Hogan's Hero cast members. He played Corporal Louis Lebeau, Robert Max Widerman, born March 1st, 1926 in Paris, France. At the age of 12, he began a career in singing professionally. He would regularly appear on a French radio station and later started studying art in Paris. In 1942, at the age of 16, because he was Jewish, he was deported to the Nazi concentration camp at Otmouth in Poland. He said that while he was there, sometimes the SS soldiers would find the prisoners that had certain talents and force them to do performances for the rest of the guards. A few times he had to sing while another prisoner played the accordion. He says that eventually he was transferred to the Buchenwald concentration camp. They took all of the prisoners, tattooed us on our left forearm. I got a number of A5714, and we were herded onto cattle cars just like animals. When we got to Buchenwald, the SS shoved us into a shower room to spend the night. By this time, we had all heard the rumors about the dummy shower heads that were really gas jets. We thought, this is it. But no, it turned out they were just forcing us to sleep in there. But we ended up staying in there for 8 days straight without any food or water. It was so crowded that we had to sleep on top of each other. Every morning we would wake up to find new corpses next to us. We would have to stack them off to the side, and the whole experience was just a complete nightmare. The way they treated us was like we were not even humans. We only survived by determination and pure guts. If I wouldn't have been in such good health and so young at the time, I never would have made it out alive. On April 11, 1945, the Allied troops liberated the Buchenwald concentration camp. He had 12 other immediate family members that were sent to concentration camps, and Robert was the only one that survived. In 1948, he returned to the entertainment business and began singing songs that became very popular in France. Later that year, he made his first recordings, and they were sent to the United States on a wire transfer and were issued on disc by Capitol Records. These recordings are what led him to be invited to America to perform on the Ed Wynn Show in 1950, where he sang and also performed in some comedy skits. This is also where he met Merv Griffin and Eddie Cantor. Everyone loved his singing and his comedic delivery, and they were trying to find him more work. Broadway quickly recognized his talents, and he appeared in several popular musicals at the time. Now, during this time, Eddie Cantor was able to find Robert some work on the early NBC sitcoms of the time. He got to appear on the Colgate Comedy Hour, the Martha Raye Show, and now Robert will say the most important thing he got to do was meet Eddie's daughter, Natalie Cantor Metzger, whom he said became his best and closest friend for 15 years, and he ended up marrying her, and the two of them would never separate. In 1965, after filming the pilot episode, Robert was offered the role of Corporal Louis Lebeau full-time on the new television series called Hogan's Heroes, which he accepted. He would play a gourmet chef and a patriotic Frenchman. He had the guard dogs trained to be friendly to the prisoners. He was great in the show. The show ran for 6 seasons, 168 episodes total, and Lebeau was a big part of all of them. You couldn't have put somebody else in his role. He was perfect for the part. Now, just like the rest of the cast members, the media of the time was constantly asking them about their feelings of portraying prisoners of war and having Nazis on the show. Well, Robert said, there's 2 things here. This is not a concentration camp. Stalag 13 is a POW camp. That is a world of difference. You've never heard of a prisoner of war being gassed or hanged. I do not want to diminish what the soldiers went through during their internments, but it was like night and day from what we endured in the concentration camps. Now, after Hogan's Heroes ended, Robert was still able to find steady work. At first, he was just appearing in TV movies and guest appearances on sitcoms, but then came the daytime soap operas. He appeared on Days of Our Lives from 1972 through 1987. At the same time, he was on The Young and Restless from 1973 through 1979. He did a lot of those. Eventually, Robert retired from acting and would just spend his days at home with his wife, doing the normal everyday things, although he would like to paint, and then he started going to guest lectures at colleges and high schools, letting the young people know about the things that happened during the Holocaust firsthand from someone who lived through it. Robert also maintained close ties to his fellow Hogan's Hero cast members Werner Klemperer, John Banner, and Leon Askin, whose lives were also affected by the Holocaust. Now, as I make this tribute video here in the early part of 2021, Robert is still alive. He's 94 years old, and he is the last living cast member from Hogan's Heroes. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please take a moment and subscribe. Also above is a playlist. If you click it, it'll take you to videos similar to this, but they will be on Colonel Klink, Sergeant Schultz, General Brocarter, Major Hochstetter. I got a pretty good selection of Hogan's Heroes because I love the show.